When a customer doesn't pay for the services you provide, that could be extremely detrimental, especially if you have a lot of expenses associated with that money. So how do you keep yourself from getting scammed? Who am I? I'm Gregg. I've started many side hustles that I've turned into full-time businesses, and I love helping you run, start, and be successful in your side hustle. Hey, if you've got any questions about your side hustle or what to do next, drop a comment below with those questions. I would love to make a video just for you explaining the answers to your question. Now, when you're doing your side hustle, there is a potential for being scammed or not paid for your services. And how do we protect ourselves against that? Well, sometimes it's hard to protect yourself 100% against being scammed. I have had some people not pay, and believe it or not, those were people that I completely trusted. The other ones that I was a little more skeptical of ended up paying. So what do we do? Well, one, we do look for red flags. If something seems off or something doesn't seem accurate, it may be wise to steer away from that project altogether. Because if something's off, your gut is frequently right that something is not right here. Another way to not be scammed or not be paid for a job that you do is to collect payment information up front. So you can have the person sign just a little one-sheet document that says, I agree to pay for the services when the job is complete, and here's the payment information, frequently a credit card of some sort. And they put in that credit card number. Even if they're going to pay with cash, you use this as a backup. And you let them know, hey, just in case, for whatever reason, you don't come through with the cash or whatever it may be, I need this document as a backup, and it says here that you agree to pay. And that's one more way to help make sure you get paid for the job. Now you have their credit card information on file, and when the job is over, if they don't pay with the agreed payment methods, you can charge their credit card for the service that you provided. Another thing you frequently should do is if you need to buy goods to do this project, let's say you're doing a home renovation of some sort, maybe that's your side hustle, and you need to purchase a bunch of stuff, like you're doing a kitchen remodel, so you're buying all the cabinetry and other things for this project, you charge them a deposit of at least the cost of what you're paying out for all of these goods. And then when the job is complete, they pay the remainder amount, which is your labor and other things. That will help you reduce the scamminess or being burned by somebody not paying, because at least the cost of your goods has been paid for, but you will still lose your labor in that situation. And especially with a home remodel project, what you could do in the end, if you have to, is sue the person. But nobody wants to do that. That's miserable to have to go through that process. It leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and it can be expensive and time-consuming to sue somebody. So that's never your first option and never the direction you really want to head. Now, if somebody's paying with a check, what I would recommend is that the check gets deposited, but you still have a backup payment method, because a check can be returned and then you're stuck again. So if somebody pays with a check, especially if it's the deposit, tell them, with checks, I have a 7-day waiting period before I order the supplies for your job. Why 7 days? Because it'll take approximately 7 days for you to find out that the check was no good and it had bounced against your account. So that is one more way just to protect yourself. If they're paying strictly with credit card, you may run a test verification on that credit card to make sure it works. You might even call your credit card processing company and verify that this is a legitimate credit card for this person and that you will be able to run it. And then the other thing you can do with credit cards is run what's called a pre-authorization. A pre-authorization is not a charge, but it's sort of like a charge where it places a hold on that card, it verifies that it's real, and it puts a hold on that card for your amount of money that you can then charge later. Every credit card is a little bit, every credit card processor is a little bit different in how they process pre-authorizations, so check with your credit card processor. If you're not accepting credit cards for your side hustle, I strongly suggest you look into doing so. Accepting credit cards provides you some safety, and it provides you with the ability to close more sales, because everybody has credit cards, not everybody has cash and checks available. So by accepting credit cards, it's easier for people to give you a yes to move forward with whatever it is that your side hustle is. So look into some different options. I know there's a ton of them out there for the average person just like you and me to be able to accept credit cards. So these are the best ways to avoid being scammed. If it feels like a scam, if it has red flags, you may just want to avoid it and deflect it by saying, I don't think I'm the right person for your project. If you're unsure and thinking about still moving forward, collect some payment or payment information up front. Then run some tests on those payment informations like a pre-authorization or a phone call to the bank. Even if it's a check, you can call their bank and say, hey, I just got a check from Mr. Smith in this amount. Is this check good? And they may or may not be able to help you. I know banking rules have gotten tighter, so some banks will help you, some won't. And then you can also put a delay on the whole process of once I collect your payment information, there's a delay to make sure that your payment goes through and that your payment is good. So that is what I say to help you protect yourself against being scammed or against not being paid for the job. I know you can do this. I know you can be profitable in your side hustle. I hope you have an awesome and profitable day.